Hope everybody's doing well. I see a lot of people just joined in here, so I am going to get started. This will also be recorded. I'll post it in the videos chat. But we're going to have a quick little recap here of today. All right, so if you guys take a look at the video that was posted, the title is 6-4 Recap in the videos channel. ICT and Digital Time 3, 6-4 Recap Model, or Recap Model 11, that video. You guys will essentially see what my outlook was and what I was looking for. So I wanted to see this high, and I wanted to see this high. Okay, we got that high here during Asia session, excuse me. And we also had this high over here. So one thing I want to point out, I am going to look at the daily chart. Okay, I did want to see an SMT. Okay, and as of right now, looks like we really got to push up. Didn't get that SMT I wanted. But we eventually took those highs on both of these. So the SMT that really is present here is with Dow, and Dow has a mind of its own. Okay. So this is very interesting because Dow has been kind of following the markets here in a way, right? But it has kind of died out right now. So I'm very curious to see what happens next at these all-time highs here. Okay, because technically this is a ginormous SMT still. And I'm talking about like this high here and this high here, right? NQ and ES took that, but we still got that going on, right? So one thing to note here specifically is you want to see how tomorrow closes as well, because this will really result in a huge fair value gap here on the daily. We'll also have like a little order block here on the weekly if we continue up there, right? And there's 3 down close candlesticks here, so this level is definitely going to be very important as well, right? With that being said, let's go down to the 4 hour. So yesterday I mentioned how I wanted to see these highs here, and I want to see what we do at this SIBI, okay, at this PD array. I marked this PD array and I mentioned it, and a lot of people were trying to go short today, and you want to make sure you don't do that, especially with the time models, because a lot of people are like, oh, this time model could be a reversal, right? The time models won't always be a reversal. Sometimes what you'll have in general is you'll eventually get or you'll eventually have the models just be a continuation. The times will be a continuation to the draw on liquidity. So why do we get such an explosive move? Well, one thing I can tell you guys, just without looking at the weekly session models, but I highly suggest you guys look at them. Just purely based on looking at price. You guys see my charts, I don't use any indicators at all. There's none on other than the timelines. We don't use any indicators here, okay? Not even fair value gaps, because I kind of try to, train my mind to be able to look at all those fair value gaps. So in this case, we have this SIBI here that was closed on the 4 hour, okay? It was inversed. Then you have a really nice wick here back down into it. Now this is a very crucial area. Now I'm going to mark this so you guys can see. I'm going to draw a circle around it, okay? Watch this area here. Why? Well, the reason why it's important is because we closed this SIBI, wicked right into it, then continue to push higher to these highs, these relative equal highs up here, okay? Now the reason why this is important, this area, is because we'll look at the lower time frame in a second, but we'll see what setup we have there with ES and NQ today, all right? So now let's go back down. Beautiful circle here, huh? Very clean. Geometrically beautiful to look at. So this high was taken and we closed out this 4 hour SIBI. So what does that mean? With the moment we close out this 4 hour SIBI on the 4 hour chart, what does that indicate? That indicates that this will probably be used as an inverse to head to where? These highs here, this 1 hour SIBI right here, and these relative equal highs here, and then eventually all-time highs. Now, we had a really explosive move because we took a lot of time here in general, okay? Not too long, but, it was some nice accumulation, and we smashed through those PD arrays there, right? Now, let's dive more into that area over here, okay? I want you guys to specifically, I'm going to get rid of this now because it looks pretty ugly. Specifically look at this area here, okay? This wick right over here was wicking into that 4 hour SIBI, okay? Now, we're on the 15 minute. we know our draw is higher up here. Why is it higher? Because we disrespected that 4-hour SIBI, displaced above these highs, the draw is clearly higher. Okay, we're trying to take all this low resistance that I was talking about. Okay, when price presents you things like this, okay, then you need to be prepared, right? So what do I mean? Once we got that 4-hour close, we look at the lower time frame. What do we have here? A major SMT. Okay, ES took these lows while NQ didn't. You see that? Huge indication already. That's my indicator that I use. ES went below the New York Open, right? That's that pink line that I have drawn with the indicator there, right? Very nice for longs there. And NQ was above it, all right? In a way, for digital time theory, root candles, specifically the ones that we use, okay, they can be used as SMT. For example, if this pink line was your 953 root candle, ES would have touched it, NQ would have not. That's a bullish SMT. We call that a hidden SMT, okay? So this is an SMT itself in price, taking this low while NQ doesn't, while we close above that SIBI. So you already know that it's going to be bullish. All right, so what do we have here on the 15-minute? We have that 4-hour SIBI, and then look at this. We have a 15-minute order block down there. So why this? Almost a propulsion block. I don't want to get into that, but this is a down close candlestick. Last down close candlestick before a push up. Okay, what did price do? Price referred back to it, almost exactly to the 50% of this candle to continue higher. Look at that. This is your 50%, right? Your 0.5 fib. To continue higher. ICT is extremely precise, right? Now these highs are up here. So let's go down into the 5-minute and see what we have here. Okay, we have a little fair value gap down here. And I know a lot of people were looking at all this sell side and these equal lows saying, oh shoot, there's a lot of sell side. There could be a little push down. No, the draw is higher because that 4-hour fair value gap was ran through. I'm going to keep repeating it because a lot of people have a hard time understanding why the draw would be higher or lower based on the current conditions we have. So I showed you guys we started from the 4-hour and went down, okay, to see what PD arrays are there. Now, before I really dive into this, I want you guys to take a look at this hourly SIBI and just understand why I marked it here. The reason why I have it marked here was because we were looking short at this area down here because there was an SMT with ES over here, okay? And NQ had left sell side, right? I know we ran through all this price over here, but that SMT gave it away. Now we balanced this range up here already. When we reach it again, does that mean we'll reject from here and continue lower? No. Why? Because we've already balanced that area, one, and there's relative equal highs up here. And all of these previous PD arrays were disrespected. We've closed above highs, and we've continued to move higher to these highs up here and these highs up here. Okay. Now back to what I was talking about. This SMT in the morning, okay, your literally almost to 9:55 area, okay, your Judas. We had an SMT. Now let's go down to the 1-minute. I'm not going to turn the indicator on because I want you guys to focus on 2 times today in this members chat, okay? Your first time is 10:20, the start of model 11. Your next time, actually I'll mark all these times. 10:34, and there's a couple more inner cycle lines there, but the last one I want to mark, okay, not a couple more, there's one more here, it's 10:44, it's 10:55. Now keep an eye on this. It was a little hard to get a setup going here, right? But this SMT already gave it away. That price definitely wants at least this high over here. See this high that I have marked? At 18.879, excuse me. Okay. Now, how could you have played this? So model 11, earliest time, very rare cases, it'll start at 10:20, which it did exactly today. Okay. A lot of the other times, what it'll do, it'll start at 10:34. But at 10:34, instead, we had to push down, creating a little bull flag here, which I don't like using, bull flags and stuff like that. I don't believe in it. Okay. Why did this work? Simply because liquidity was engineered into a PD rate, 1-minute SIBI, probably a 5-minute SIBI or BISI as well. Sorry, I meant 1-minute BISI and 5-minute BISI, otherwise known as fair value gaps. and it eventually takes out all this liquidity here and continues to push higher. Now, as I was saying, so 1020 was the earliest start, and it started there. How can you enter this? A lot of people may ask. What I usually like waiting for one, I'm going to mark the 953 root candle here. This is your root candle for the entire day, the entire session. Okay. We can see after 1020, you could have entered right at 1020 based on this entire SMT. Okay. There's some PD arrays right here that we are using. Okay. There's a little 1 minute order block here that's actually being used. Very clean price action there. All right. Now look at this time distortion from 955 to 1020. That's your Judas. The rest is time distortion. Okay, right over here in this area. Price is stalling out. 1020, the move starts. How can you enter that? 1, you can enter at 1020. 2, if you're not comfortable, you can wait for a close above 953. This is your 953 root candle. Okay, what does it do on this? Move up. Move wicks at that root candle. Moves back down. Then we get a continuation. This candle closes above. Now, a lot of you will probably be waiting for a move down into this BISI, but by that time, the move is already up higher. So how can you enter this? We can use the 1020 candle here, okay? Notice how we get a little wick here to the body, okay? You can use that as an entry, right? And it'll be low risk. You know 1020 is a strong time, right? Your take profit could have been 953, up here, or up here. Now, the rest of the day, let's say you missed this whole move, what could you have used? Your 1055 for a continuation higher, okay? There's a BISI here. You could have waited till 1055. We know that the end of model 11 is 1110, okay, which 110 starts. But all these times were used as a continuation for price to move higher, okay? So we got to push higher, and then we left equal highs up here. Model 1001 also pushed us up higher, and I want you guys to backtest that for yourselves, okay? Utilize those times and see what we got and what price did, okay? So, does anybody have any questions? That's pretty much the recap that I wanted to give today for NQ. Does anybody have any questions here? What are the times for root candles? So all the times for the root candles are all in the book. I can give you two important ones. The important ones are 953 and 1330, those root candles. Okay. So 953 and 1330 are the really important ones that you really need to focus on throughout the day. All right. Mark 1330, backtest 1330s yesterday. It's actually exactly over here in this area. So mark this. You guys can see how those times are utilized. 953 and 1330 are the most important ones throughout the day. Okay. Of course, Ahmed. Of course. Does anybody have any more questions? So, in general, I would say just keep backtesting these models here. Okay, just keep backtesting them, and make sure you're using price with time, not just time itself. Okay. Yes, root candles are treated similar to true opens. They're similar to opening prices of certain candles. Yeah. Titan, when can we use IFVG for entry? I'll give you an example here. Okay. So we had a push down here, and we were on live tape reading with Quant, and I was saying how we're definitely gonna head to these all-time highs up here, and I want to see that. This move down was a 15-minute. Let me just show you guys. The move down was a 15-minute move down to a 15-minute order block, and it left the BISI open. I said I wanted to see this BISI be left open. Okay. So we got that. So how can you use IFVG as entry with time? A lot of the times what I'll do, for example, 1330 is an important time, right? So I'll mark it here. You could wait a couple minutes after, right? A lot of the times what will happen is you'll see the inversions happen at those specific times. Okay. In this case, it took a little bit after 1330, but your entry could have been at any of these candles. This candle here, for example, at least to this high. So I took a little trade today, and it was off this BISI because I didn't get filled. So I just left there very small cons, and I very tight stop. Okay, and we eventually got that moved to just to this high. Okay, and that was a cool like about 10 points, right? On NQ. So that's how you can use inversions, right? Look at 1330 here. A lot of the times it'll be much cleaner. You'll have a really nice entry. For example, another one to look at, Titan. Please look at the one yesterday. I'll just show you guys. Where is it? Was it yesterday? Yes, it was. So look at this. Sibi here. 1409 is a little bit after, right? Right over here. But we got an inversion here, right? You know 1409 is coming. You can enter this inversion here. It happens almost all the time, so look at it. I would highly suggest you look at model 11 and look at 1034 and even model 110 if you can find any. A lot of the times you'll see 1121 time inversion or 1034 inversion as well. Of course, man, yeah, it also works in Forex. So everything works. Digital time 3 works in everything. So Forex, crypto, futures, all that stuff, right? All the models are in the book. I would highly suggest getting the book. It's a really good price for the amount of information is there. Ivan did an amazing job. Okay. Very good question, Mira. So let me just show you here real quick. I'll just pop it on. Okay. So for Asia time, this is your Judas. This is this entire time here is is your 11, and this is your 110 here. Okay. So your night model, or excuse me, this is my bad. This is London. Night model would be your 110 for London, and for Asia, this will be your 110. So your Kyoto model. Okay. Okay. Very good. Ali remembers it. Very nice. My one-on-one student remembers it better than I do. I get it mixed up. Yeah, so 1937 route for Kyoto. Each one has its own root candle. You got it. That's it. All right. So, if nobody else has any more questions, you guys can ask a little more here. But I do have to head out here in a bit. But overall, this is what has happened. What I'm expecting is I want to see, how the 1 hour PD raise here. What happens specifically. I would really like to see a push down back into this area here, into this old 1 hour for NQ specifically. And honestly, this is just a continuation higher until Dow proves otherwise, because there's a huge SMT here. So order flow is bullish. We just have to use those 4 hour and 1 hour areas. Okay. All right, guys. I am going to head out here. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the chat. I will be posting this video in the videos channel, so be sure to check it out there. Okay. And with that being said, hope you guys have a great evening and a great day wherever you're at. And I'll catch you guys later.